Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, if you are new here, welcome. And if you like this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing as well. For those of you who already come back and like and have subscribed, I thank you so much and watch the videos. I really do appreciate it. As always, I do want to remind everyone that private readings are always available. All you have to do is email me. I talked a little bit more in detail about the private videos in the Delphi video that should be up right now. It's not up as I'm recording, but by the time you're watching this, it should be up. So if you are interested in a private reading, definitely just email me. I will have my email in the description box and we can set it up. All right, so today's reading is going to be on, let me get her name correct. We have Paola Marie Miranda Rosa, and I hope I pronounced that right. Very pretty. I like Paola. That's nice. Paola. I like that. This was a requested read. I believe someone requested it about a month ago, and so I apologize for it taking so long. I am glad that I got into this case because it is a doozy. It's very interesting, and I really hope that it starts to pick up some traction and more people can cover it because it's one of those cases where you may look at it and think, oh, okay, it's obvious this happened. But when you hear more details about it, you're like, now I'm not sure. And so we are going to read on Paola tonight and see what comes out. A little bit of a background story, and I will have pictures up here. I usually don't if it's a well-known case. If it's not a well-known case, I will have pictures up here so that you know kind of what I'm talking about and have a little bit of an idea of what's happening. All right, so Paola, 31, disappeared on December 17th, 2021. Okay, so just before Christmas. And investigators came out after she had been reported missing and said that a video had been provided to them. Apparently, there were two photographs taken by hikers on December 18th showing Paola swimming in the Ickedmel River. The sheriff's office released the images and confirmed that family members of Miranda Rosa positively identified her as being the person in the video. Her car was also found at Ickedmel Springs State Park. That was reportedly the last time she was seen. All right, so apparently, now this is Florida. I'm not quite sure exactly where in Florida, northern, central, southern, I have no idea, but it is Florida. And so I should have the picture of her on the screen. The water, there are gators, right? So there are known gators to be in this particular area as well. From what I understand, there are no swimming signs in areas around where she was swimming. And so that's a concern. And I think it's one of those cases, like I said, you might think, oh, okay, yeah, she was probably attacked by gators or water moccasins, maybe bit and, got poisoned or something like that. However, I dug a little bit more into the case. Also, on her missing flyers, or her missing persons flyer, they also state that Paola suffered from schizophrenia as well as being bipolar. And again, first thought would be, okay, she has had some sort of possibly a break and she is out there in gator-infested waters. Also, it had been stated that she had said that in the past she had wanted to harm herself. So there's that as well, and I just want to put that out there. However, today I did look around on YouTube and I came across a video from Ickedmel, and he had a cousin of Paola's on, and he interviewed her. And it was enlightening. It was interesting, but there were some things that I thought were odd. And we'll go through them. So apparently, and I'm going to kind of summarize this by memory. Apparently, December 17th, okay, Paola had hung out with family members. They had had lunch together. Normal day. This cousin says that Paola also had a dental appointment that day. She did go to the dental appointment. Nothing was strange about that day. On December 18th, apparently the following day, she also had plans to meet with more family, including her sister, for lunch. Okay, so she was supposed to meet her sister for lunch on December 18th. She never shows up for that lunch. Her sister calls Paola. Paola does not answer her phone. She continues to call her. She doesn't answer the phone. I believe that's when other family members were notified that the sister had been trying to get a hold of Paola. They could not get a hold of her. Other family members start to call her. She's not answering her phone, so it becomes a concern. I believe at that point, they have apparently she had an easy pass, which is like a toll road pass. Okay, so you don't have to like stop in the toll road. You can just drive through. So apparently, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Paola's mother decided to check the history of Paola's Easy Pass to see where she had been last. And that is when they discovered that she had taken the ramp to go to this Wekiva State Park. Okay. This is apparently a popular area. The family has been there several times. This was not a new place for Paola. This is, typical. It wouldn't be odd for her to go there. So the family decides to go to that area and look around and see if they can find her. They go there. I'd have to go back and it's worthy of a second watch. And I will actually put the link to that particular episode in the description box as well. And it's definitely an interesting interview. But anyway, so they go to the state park and they're driving around. They're looking for anything, any sign of Paola. They come across a ranger. They explain to him that they're, looking for her and, if there's any cars around, because this is where, her Easy Pass said that she, got off the exit. This ranger tells them that they don't need to go any further because where he came from, there's no vehicles there. There's nothing there. So they say, okay, thank you. They turn around, they leave. They don't find anything. Well, come to find out, Paola's car was back in that area in a parking lot where that ranger said that there were no vehicles. So that's red flag number one. So we have a ranger saying that there's nothing to see here, and her car was parked in that area. So that's something. Then I believe the cousin, this is a cousin that Ickedmel is interviewing, a cousin to Paola. She also wanted to address the schizophrenia and bipolar diagnoses. She is saying that Paola did not have schizophrenia or bipolar, that she does not really understand why that made it to the missing person flyer information. However, she did state that Paola had suffered about 2 to 3 years prior to this incident. She had suffered from a bout of depression and she had been admitted into a mental institution. And it sounded like she had been there for quite a while, because if I'm not mistaken, I heard her say about a year. So if anybody has watched that video, or if you watched that video and I'm mistaken about the time, correct me, because I believe I heard her say a year, which to me is a very, very long time to be admitted. I just find that I don't know if I misheard or if she misspoke or what, but she was kind of insinuating that because she had that on her medical history, that she had been admitted, that perhaps it was just turned into schizophrenia and bipolar. That's a little odd. That kind of bothers me, because how do you make that jump if it's somebody that was just admitted? And how do they get that information? Possibly since they're law enforcement, but there is HIPAA, right? So, our medical history is, it's usually not that accessible. Now, granted, if you go missing and law enforcement is trying to get your background information, perhaps it's easy for them. I don't know. But I don't understand the leap from a depressive state to schizophrenia and bipolarism. That is a big jump if it's not true. So that's a red flag as well. So, how do you get that wrong? Where did they get it from? Is the family mistaken? I would hope or think that the family would know. And I kind of don't know. I'm not sure what to think about that, because we all know that law enforcement can really botch a case, right? That happens far too often. And so did they just put this information out? It sounds like, from what she is saying, this cousin, is that police have kind of just ruled this as most likely she was attacked by a gator. And they did do searches of that river or lake or whatever it is. It looks like a horror scene out of a movie, to be honest with you. You wouldn't be able to pay me to get into water like that. But they did send in scuba divers, and they looked around. Apparently, this cousin also said that they tested for Paola's DNA in the water. They did not find her DNA, which makes the family believe that she was not attacked by any kind of animal or a gator or anything like that. She also makes it very clear that this is an area where people swim. And she says that it is normal and that the gators don't bother you. If there are gators there, they don't really mess with you. Now, I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's no swimming signs scattered around and people know that there are gators in that area, I guess I wouldn't go in there. That's just me. I don't think I would want to. It's not like a bee. People say, oh, don't swat at bees, or this is a gator. Okay, you could be there 1 minute and underwater the next minute. So, and then on top of that, in Ickedmel's video, he actually, before the interview starts, he goes back and he shows a past incident with a woman who was swimming. So maybe people do swim, because there was a woman swimming apparently a couple of years prior who got her arm bitten off by an alligator. And so alligators are there and they do attack. All right. That's a possibility. But apparently it sounds like people do swim there. But then I've heard other Floridians say, no, hell no. When you live in Florida that you don't do that. You don't mess around in waters like that. So I'm really getting mixed, information here as far as, would you swim in that water? Would you not swim in that water? But again, like I said, Paola's cousin is pretty much saying that, yeah, it's fine to swim in that water. She swam in that water herself. Paola was used to that kind of water. They knew how to, interact with the gators, I guess. And so the family is really insisting that something else happened to Paola. And it seems like police are kind of going more towards the gator thing. Apparently the family has hired a private investigator. I think that they also do have a GoFundMe. There's also a Facebook page set up for Paola. And a couple other things that bothered me with this interview. I will say this before I forget to say this. This really bothered me. So in the beginning, this cousin says that on December 18th, Paola was supposed to meet with her sister for lunch. Okay, she was supposed to meet her sister for lunch. She also went to the bank. She's not sure if Paola made a deposit or a withdrawal, but that she did go to the bank. But she was supposed to meet her sister and other family members. However, later on in the interview, she does say that when authorities did find her car, they discovered that her phone was in the car and there was a packed lunch. There was a sandwich and some crackers and some juice. And I thought that odd, because wasn't she supposed to meet her sister for lunch? So why would you pack a sandwich and crackers and juice if you're actually going to go meet someone for lunch? So that was concerning. So there's some things here that don't make, they don't make sense. So what happened to Paola? Did she have these mental diagnoses? Now, the cousin is saying that she suffered from depression, but that was about 3 years ago. No signs of depression as of lately. She was fine. Everything was fine. They suspect foul play, that someone did something to Paola. And apparently, like I said earlier, the police were it seems like they're so adamant on this alligator search or this alligator attack that they did not even open up Paola's phone until 6 months after she had went missing, because mind you, this is December 18th is when she was caught on video in this water of 2021. And so by the time she did this interview with Ickedmel, she states that it was at that time that authorities finally decided to go into Paola's phone and see if they could find anything. So that's really kind of like, you know, that's another red flag. It's like, wow, you've just completely ruled out anything else other than an alligator. And I don't think it's good to have tunnel vision, especially if there's no evidence of an alligator attack like the DNA in the water. I would assume that makes sense to me. If somebody were to be attacked, you know, that there would be some possible DNA if they were to test the water. I don't know how that works or how accurate that would be or how long that DNA stays in that water. But I think the family, you know, the family's holding on to that hope that, you know, she's not in that water and she's alive somewhere and is going to come home. But unfortunately, it does sound like police have kind of given up and they are no longer doing any active searches. The family is doing all of the searches. The family has hired the private investigator. So also something interesting that the cousin says is there were other young girls from that area that also went missing in the couple years around that time. Okay, so I don't know what the time frame is, you know, against Paola, how you know, close together these girls went missing, but she mentions that they are all Puerto Rican and they are all kind of very similar in their physical features. They all have short, dark, curly hair, you know, kind of darker skin tone, and she is actually getting together and working with the father of one of the girls that went missing from that area, and they are going to be, well, they probably already did it because this video that I watched is 2 months old, but they were supposed to get together and do some searching together and just kind of put their heads together and look for both his daughter and her cousin, Paola. So, you know, there's this trafficking idea that's floating out there too. And is there a particular type of person that, you know, they're looking for? So there's that. So there's a lot of things going on in this story, and it just, and I know I'm all over the place, so I apologize, but it just seems like there's red flags that are all over the place popping up. And it again, it's one of those things where you think, oh yeah, it's obvious what happened to her. But is it obvious? So that's what we're going to try to ask today. Okay, let me keep her name out. I have her name written down, and if I don't keep it out and look at it, I will mispronounce it. Okay. Okay, so Paola, and I really, really like that name, Paola. All right, so I have 4 decks here that I have already shuffled, but I'm going to continue to shuffle again. Let me see, what do I want to start with? Let me start with the steampunk. I haven't used the steampunk deck in a long time. Okay. Whoa, the Fool. The Fool popped right out. That just fell out. All right, and it's upright. So, was this something that was impromptu? Was this something that was abnormal? Was this something that was not in her usual characteristic? Huh, all right. We're asking about Paola Marie Miranda Rosa. Paola Marie Miranda Rosa. Okay, what happened, Paola? What happened? What happened that day that you were seen swimming? Let's go back to that day that you were seen swimming. Well, actually, no. I want to go back to her energy prior to that day. So let's see. I'll wait on that Fool card, but let's go back to let's go back to the week or 2 leading up to the day she was caught on video camera swimming. All right, so what was going on in Paola's life, in her mind, her heart, her energy, leading up to that video? What was going on? Paola Marie Miranda Rosa. Paola Marie Miranda Rosa. Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, Six of Swords reversed, the World card reversed, and the Two of Cups. All right. Just quickly before I start, I want to, and this is something that I explain when I'm doing private readings so that people can see the numbers on their cards and kind of have an idea of what those numbers mean. In tarot, we have, not just in tarot, in life, we have cycles, all right? We start and we complete many, many cycles in a lifetime, many, many cycles in a day, many in a lifetime. Some of them are tiny, minute cycles that we don't even think of. We just do them. And then we have these big rites of passage type cycles that we go through. And it could be things like having a baby, getting married, moving out of your childhood home, going off to college, starting kindergarten. Okay, it's these big things from or these things from small things to big things, but we're constantly going through these cycles. We're constantly starting them and we're constantly completing them. So to give everyone an idea of the number sequence, okay, a cycle in tarot is 1 through 10. Now aces are the ones. So let me liken it to getting up and going to work. For example, getting up and going to work. All right. So you know, the ace, okay, the ace is the one, it's the alarm clock going off. The alarm clock goes off, your eyes open, you're ready to start the day. Number 2, you're going to have to decide whether or not you choose to get up and go to work, or are you going to roll back over, turn off your alarm and go back to sleep. Okay, so you cannot continue with your day until you make that decision. It's that 2 choices. Regardless of whether you verbally say it or not, you have to make that decision. So even if you decide to roll over and do nothing, you've still made that choice. Let's just say you decide to get up and go to work and get ready. All right, you've made the choice. Let's go on to 3. 3, you're going to get up out of bed. You're maybe walking to the coffee pot, going to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. 4, let's say you're checking your phone, your messages, your email, checking the news for the day. 5 is that halfway point, and at 5 you're kind of like, do I really want to do this? I still have time. I could call off. I don't need to go in today. I'm really tired. You know, what do I want to do? Okay, so you start second guessing yourself. Let's say you decide you are going to go in. You're awake. You know, you might as well just get it over with. 6, you continue on with the process. You pop in the shower. 7, you're getting dressed and putting your shoes on. 8, you're packing your lunch, you're grabbing your keys. 9, you're walking out to the car, you're driving. 10, you've arrived. All right, so you've just completed a cycle 1 through 10. So now you guys, if you see numbers like 6, 7s, 8s, you kind of see in that sequence where that's going on. And so that's why when we see these higher numbers like 8s, 9s, 10s, we're thinking, okay, there's a completion here somewhere with that. So having said that, the Fool card is before even the ace. All right, this is 0. It's before the 1. So it's called the void, right? It's the nothingness. It's before everything. So it's the beginning of something, a new journey. So that card fell out. So there's something about something new going on in Paola's life. And I'm looking down here at the World card because the World card is, again, it's that wheel of life, that cycle. Okay, it represents the whole thing that I just mentioned, but on a grander scale. And it tells me that she just finished a cycle. So there's something that she has completed. There's something that is, it's like the ending of something, right? You know, whether or not it was, you know, maybe she had a rough year, maybe she had a rough couple of weeks, and she was now starting to come out of that. However, with this being reversed, it makes me feel like that's why I'm saying it was rough. Okay, you know, you want your cycles to be in an upright position. Everything is going smooth as it should be, as you hope it is, as you want it to be, as you want it to continue to be. But when it comes out like this, it kind of means that maybe things weren't all that smooth, right? And so there's something here that's going on in Paola's life that wasn't very there was something going on, and she was ready to just kind of put this behind her and restart, just restart. And then I'm looking down here at the Two of Cups. So it's that decision, right? It's the decision, but it's also the Two of Cups. And we have a couple here. So is there something going on with a boyfriend or, a relationship of some kind? Because that card is coming up right next to this reversed world. It's almost like maybe a relationship was coming to an end. Okay. Now, when I watched that interview, the cousin is saying that no, she was not having any relationship problems, nothing like that. There was an ex that she had problems with, but that had kind of been done and over with. The family looked into that, didn't really find anything as a cause for concern, and so that just doesn't seem to be in their thoughts right now. However, I feel like there is something that's coming up with a potential relationship, at least was affecting her mindset and her energy at that time. Okay, things weren't going well. And then we have right next to it, the Six of Swords reversed. So this one here, it's all about leaving a bad situation. That's what the Six of Swords is, leaving a bad situation and going towards calmer seas. All right, you're getting out of something rough. Maybe, all right, maybe this even extends a little bit farther back than a couple of weeks. Now, I'm asking for the week or two prior to her going missing. So, if we stick to that, then there was definitely a relationship going on in her life at that time. Because I don't necessarily know if this is going back to that prior relationship years past. I don't believe so, unless it really was sticking with her, and I don't think so. I think that there's another relationship that possibly family doesn't know. One thing that the cousin did repeatedly say was that her mom, Paola's mom, has said numerous times that Paola told her everything. She knew everything about Paola's life. I feel like that's not the case. There's some things that Paola did not share with her mom, and that's okay, right? We don't have to share everything. But I think that it might be kind of, giving them a little bit of tunnel vision because they're just assuming that there was nothing going on. And I do believe that there was something going on with someone and they don't realize it. All right. So this one here is, leaving a bad situation. Okay. Trying to get out of a bad situation, but it's reversed. So it's like there's a blockage of some sort. There's an inability to try to get away from this situation. Either there's a blockage and there's or an obstacle that's stopping you from it, or you're stopping it yourself. You're refusing to get away from this situation. So couple that with the relationship, the World card, trying to leave, all right? And then we have Judgment. And so the Judgment here, it looks like a car accident has taken place. What does that car accident represent in Paola's case? To me, that could absolutely represent this relationship. There's something coming up to me involving another person that Paola was struggling with, and she may not have told anyone, and it put her in a state of mind prior to her going missing. So very much on the mindset. But having said that, with that new adventure card, that Fool card coming out, I do not believe that Paola set out to harm herself or anything like that. I think that this was kind of a, I'm going to start new. I'm going to start fresh. All right. I don't know how spiritual Paola is or was, or the family is. But I keep thinking of her wading in that water. And it makes me think of the Star card and Temperance. There's something about that water. It's almost like, was this going to be kind of like a rebirth or a renewal? Did she go out there to clear her mind and use this as a fresh start? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting right now so far. All right, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So again, it's that completion card. It's that 10. We've arrived. We've made it to work. We went through the whole cycle. So again, there's a lot of cards here that are symbolizing an ending, but also a beginning. So let's look at this one. We have a family. We have You know, I really, honestly, this is Paola. This is Paola to me. Okay. Looks like her, same kind of hair, olive skin tone, and she's watching this family. Okay. And there's something about that couple that's sticking out to me. Is that this person here? Is that the same guy? This guy here and this guy? This one here is Paola, but this is someone else. So is there something here where she was in a relationship and this guy potentially was in another relationship, or, you know, maybe he ended the relationship and, you know, went on to, you know, be with someone else? But that's what's coming out so far. So that's the energy. That's what's kind of going on in Paola's mind right prior to her going into that water. Okay, so let's keep going here. What else? What else? Okay. Tell us some more information. What happened that day? What happened that day? Let me see. Tell us what happened that day to you. Come through and tell us what happened that day at the water. Okay. 3 of Wands. She was being watched. Now, I don't know who she was being watched by. Okay, let me put that out. I don't know if she was being watched by a reptile or a human, but she was definitely being watched, because that's her and this is the person watching her. And they've got a telescope, so they're also on land. Okay, and you know, that's interesting, because let's think about this for a second. The people who took the video of Paola swimming in the water, okay, they gave that video to law enforcement, but they did not want their identity disclosed. They wanted to remain anonymous. Now, I could understand that. You just probably don't want a bunch of YouTubers calling you and emailing you and texting you, or whatever it is that people do to get a hold of everyone. Okay, they don't want to do interviews. They just, you know, maybe they're just private people. Okay, but that telescope is making me think of that video, because that video at a certain point zooms in on Paola like a telescope. All right. So they're recording her, and they zoom in, they zoom out, and there's just something here with that person. This is that person, okay? This is that person. And why are they coming up in the reading? Is it because she's telling us that there was a person who's seen her? Maybe, but I feel like there's more to it. I feel like there's more to the person who was recording Paola. And then right next to that one, we have the Moon card. So the Moon card is all about secrets. It's all about things coming to light. I'm glad that it's coming out upright. I really am. I'm glad that it's coming out upright, because that makes me feel like things are going to come to light. But I feel like this is one of those cases that need pressure. They need more, you know, people need to be talking about this case more. Otherwise, I think that the police are just going to brush it under the rug and label it as an alligator. And right now, I'm not picking that up. I'm not picking the alligator thing up, or the, you know, water moccasin or anything like that. I'm picking up something strange about the person that was watching her, okay? The person that is holding this device, camera, the camera or the phone or whatever it was. That person is really kind of sticking out right now. I do feel like she just went out there to kind of take a day to herself, get her thoughts together. She was having a hermit moment. She was having a hermit moment. She was just trying to get some solitude. That could very well be a place that she's comfortable swimming. Now, I wouldn't want to swim there. But, you know, if she grew up in that area and she felt comfortable, she might not think twice about it. It was December. I did look into alligator behavior in that time of year. Apparently, they do kind of go dormant. It's not dormant, or not dormant. I can't remember the term, but it's like hibernation, but not hibernation. They're still awake. They're not sleeping, but they're not as active as they normally are. which wouldn't comfort me at all. I wouldn't care if they were dormant, inactive, hibernating. If there were an alligator in the area, I'm not going in. I'm not even going to go in that area. But she could very well have been comfortable with that given the time of year, being at December. She may have known that it wasn't really a risk, or if it was a risk she was willing to take because she just felt confident enough to do so. I do not believe that she went in there to harm herself or to be harmed. There's some more things to this story than we know. And Paola's mom is thinking that Paola told her everything, and I'm saying no, Paola did not tell mom everything. She did not tell mom everything. There is a secret here. There is something about Paola's life, her personal life, that the family they're not privy to, okay? So they really do need to kind of dig into her private life as to what she was doing and who she was doing it with right prior to this disappearance, because it's important. It's really important. And it will shed a lot of light. Look at all this light we have. We have the light of the moon. We have the lights over here and the pillars. We have the 3 lights and the 3 of Wands. It would shed light on this story. There's something here that's telling me that there's something worthy of discovering. Queen of Wands. So who's the Queen of Wands? Could very well be Paola. I don't feel like it's Paola, though. I feel like it's someone else. Who's Queen of Wands? Who's the Queen of Wands? Tell us who the Queen of Wands is. Who is this person? Who is this female? Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. So another leaving card, another walking away card. All right. Let me go back here for a second because I want to go back to that 10 of Pentacles. And I have to wonder if this woman here and this woman are one and the same. Okay, so was there a love triangle type situation, because we also have a 3 here. We have 3 lights, and look at these lights, the way they're positioned. We have the 2 over here that are close, and then we have this one. And I'm getting the feeling that Paola was this one, and she was the outsider. She was the third wheel in this relationship. So these 2 are obviously closer, and now I'm even wondering, well, I do still feel like the 2 of Cups is Paola. There was definitely some sort of energy between her and someone. There was a strong energy between her and someone, but I have to wonder if this someone was already connected to another woman or another person. So I'm really looking at this Queen of Wands as being that person, that woman. Now look at this 8 of Cups. With this particular deck, I love this 8 of Cups. It's got all these numbers and figures up here, and it just looks like she's really thinking, like she's really running the figures through her mind. She's really running the numbers, analyzing, strategizing. It's definitely a different vibe from the typical 8 of Cups. This is kind of a seeking card, wondering what you should do, wondering where you should go from here. This one here, I get this feeling of building, okay? Building something, planning something. You're literally strategizing in your mind, trying to figure out how you're going to do this, how you're going to pull this off. So is there something here with this female where she was strategizing and planning and trying to figure out how she was going to pull something off? So let's just, I'm not saying anything for fact. I'm just throwing some things out, and those are the things that are coming to me with this read. All right, so let me switch decks. I want to go to the Everyday Witches Tarot and see. Focus more on that day. The day that Paola was swimming. Okay, the day that Paola was swimming in the water, when she was seen swimming in the water. Tell us some more information. What information do we need to know? What information could help to locate you or figure out what happened? Any information is helpful, even about the person who recorded you swimming. Any information that is helpful in finding you. Okay, tell us the story, Paola. Tell us the story. What happened? Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Cups again. So there's a relationship coming up in this reading. There's obviously a relationship going on in Paola's life at the time of her disappearance. And remember I said the water, okay? To me, this is Paola saying, yeah, that's what I went out to the water for. I just went out to the water to get some peace of mind, to just kind of get my head straight, to think about things. I wasn't planning on hurting myself or harming myself. This was more of a like a spiritual type rebirth, if anything. That is exactly what I said about the star, and the star came out. And the star is coming out upright. That is what her motive was when she went out there. She did not go out there to harm herself or to be harmed. And then we have the Death. Okay, so that was not, to me, that was not in the plan. Now the Death card in tarot, it's a symbolic death. It's not a physical death. It's transitioning, change. All right. Look at this one here. I love this Death card because we've got a man here that is getting ready to literally cut the cord. He is about to cut the cord. And we've got a closed door and we've got a slightly ajar door. So this one here, it looks like he's getting ready to just kind of put this behind him. He's going to release himself from whatever happened behind that door, and he is going through the new door. So this is about change. This is rebirth. This is renewal. So that Death card is absolutely going with that Star card for Paola. Okay, she was turning a new leaf. There was something going on with this relationship. This relationship had recently ended. It just wasn't, whatever was going on there, I don't think it was good. And this was a fresh start for her. Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is all about planning for the future. Okay. Again, it's an adventurous card, right? Especially with this particular deck. It looks like he is... he's starting, it's literally what I'm saying that she was doing, what Paola was doing. He looks like he's starting a journey. He's on a path. He's leaving home. Okay. He's young. So he's never done this before. It's exciting. He doesn't even know what he's going to do or where he's going to go. He's flipping a coin. Wherever that coin lands on that map, that's where he's going. And I feel like that was the mindset of Paola that day. Okay, it was kind of like wherever the car takes me, that's where I'm going. And she just happened to go to Wekiva State Park. So that's, to me, her mindset at that time. But somebody, I feel, was watching her, and somebody had some issues with her, because I'm not seeing anything here. I'm not picking up anything with any kind of attack with an animal. All right, tell us more about that queen. Tell us more about the female. Who's the family in the Ten of Pentacles, and who is that Queen of Wands? Tell us more about that person. Is that person involved in any way? Tell us more about that person. Oh, the Sun card reversed. The Three of Cups reversed. The Knight of Swords reversed, and we have the Chariot reversed. So, these two here are very similar in how they are coming out. We've got, the Sun card, we've got this generational thing going on. We've got a pregnant woman, and it looks like a daughter, a mother, a grandmother, and another baby on the way. And then we've got three people over here having a good time. And so there's a theme here of three, because we've also pulled that Three of Wands. So there's definitely like a third wheel. And having said a third wheel, what do you know? We have a motorcycle, okay, with three wheels. So this is a three-wheel, literally a three-wheel. I feel like Paola is definitely coming through. Like, she is coming through with the messages. She wants to be found. This is not an alligator accident. She was the third wheel. She was this here. She was this here. She was the third wheel in a relationship, in my opinion. And that Queen of Wands is making me suspicious of the female in potentially with this person. The family has to dig into Paola's personal things. They have to dig into her personal life. Whether that is, going through her emails, or text messages. I don't know. When I watched that video from Ickedmel, the cousin, literally that video was posted 2 months ago. The cousin said in that interview, she was like, the police just this morning looked into her phone, just this morning. So that's 2 months ago. I didn't do any more research to see any updates of whether or not they found anything on her phone, but those types of things are important. And I hope that the police, okay, I hope that they're doing their due diligence, because oftentimes they don't, it seems like. You know, are they looking for any kind of signs of a relationship, or, you know, somebody that she was seeing or anything like that? Because there was something's coming up. The Chariot. Yeah. So this is the third wheel. This is the third wheel. I'm taken aback by that. It's also a car. Okay. It's also a means of transportation. So it also makes me feel like Paola was taken out of that park. She was taken out of that state park. She left. Okay, she left. And she was driven by a woman, because that is Paola right there in that third wheel, because she's the third wheel. So this must be the Queen of Wands. Okay, that's who this is. And she looks like she's concerned. Okay, she's trying to get out of there. She's looking for the fastest and easiest route. She's a little bit turned around, possibly doesn't know the area. You know, but she's trying to get out of there, and she doesn't have a calm and easy appearance. I mean, she, you know, obviously she's turned around, so she could have gotten lost trying to leave out of there. I don't know how big this Wakaiva Park is, or how many exits or entrances, but if you're not familiar with that, I could imagine how easy it would get to, or how easy it would be to turn around, or get turned around rather. But also she is nervous because she potentially has somebody in her vehicle that doesn't want to be in her vehicle, or potentially is hurt or something. There's something there. There's something with a vehicle. This could also be Paola's vehicle as well. Maybe there's, you know, fingerprints or something in the car, you know, but definitely a car is coming up. But first and foremost, that is a third wheel. If that's not a third wheel car, I don't know what is. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So let me see, the Knight of, or sorry, not the Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. So this is action. This is all about doing, getting it done. Let me look at this for a second. We've got a get together. We've got this 3 is coming out. 3 is very, very strong coming out right now. All right, can we get some clarity on the Knight of Swords? Who's the Knight of Swords, and who did what? What does this represent? I don't like, in the Knight of Swords, how he is holding that sword. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. You know, he is literally on his broom, and he is going straight at it. All right, he's got something in mind, and he is going there full force. I don't like the sword. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. Damn, and we've got the Ace of Swords. We've got another sword. So what does that sword represent? That I don't know. Okay, it could be any type of weapon. It could be a knife, it could be a gun, it could be all sorts of things. It could be with this one being lightning. Maybe it's what do you call it? What do you call it when you hit somebody with it? Oh man, I can't even, like a laser, not a laser. God, I feel ridiculous right now. Somebody will mention it in the comments, but police use it. Okay, okay, I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank, but that is what is popping into my mind right now with that lightning. Okay, so I just asked, literally, what was this? I don't know. It's a weapon of sorts. I don't know what kind of weapon. And then I see lightning with the same weapon. So it almost makes me feel like there was something used on her, okay? Some sort of something, and that could have been used to get her into a vehicle, all right? And so taken out of the park. Very interesting read. Very interesting. Not going at all like I thought. Not going at all like I thought. All right, I want to ask about the current energy of Paola right now. Okay, where is Paola right now? All right, can you tell us where you're at, Paola? The Nine of Wands. Okay, so this is literally like a guard around her, okay? A boundary of sorts. Usually it's a boundary that we put up around ourselves, but really in her situation, I'm looking at those things on her arms, and I'm wondering if she was tied up somewhere or taken someplace, but she definitely, I don't believe in my soul that, Paola passed away in that water due to an alligator attack. Okay. There's something here that makes me feel like she could have been taken and tied up and held somewhere. Okay, where are you at right now? Where are you at right now? Where are you at right now? Seven of Swords. Deception. There's deception all around this case. All around this case. The Two of Wands. This is the Dream Keepers Tarot, by the way. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Pull one from the middle here. We have the King of Pentacles reversed. All right, so I hardly ever use this deck, so let me just look at these images for a second. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. In all honesty, this is a little bit of that, well, it's a little bit of Paola, but it's also that Queen of Wands. It's this other female, okay? It's Paola in the fact that she did not tell all of her secrets to everyone. She did not open up to her mom about everything, okay? Regardless of what her mom feels or believes, there's things about her life that she did not share. And like I said earlier, that's okay. You don't have to share every part of your life, right? So that's evident. However, I really do think that the bulk of this card is that Queen of Wands. And this woman is not even, wouldn't even fit the bill. She's wearing a mask, okay? So she's got that face mask or her eye mask on. And that right there is telling me that she is definitely not the person that she portrays herself to be. So this woman is very sneaky. This is a manipulative card for me. Lies, deceit, strategizing, all of those things. All right. And so there's definitely, again, lies. There's lies and there's secrets involving this case. The Two of Wands. I don't necessarily know for a fact as far as the state of Paola right now. But I'm looking at this person in the back, and a couple things about this card. This here is the Queen of Wands. This is this other person. There's something about her that just that's her, okay? It's the red dress. There's, that red to me symbolizes this is a person who, she came out as the Queen of Wands after all, right? So that is fire. And in this case, it's rage. And she's coming out as a Wands again. So she might be a fire sign, or it might just be her personality or her, this is a woman who can, when she's enraged, okay? She literally spits fire. Let's just throw out there that maybe Paola was seeing someone that this woman was involved with, and she found out. That would enrage this person to an extent to where she could potentially harm her, or do something, or strategize to have something done. There's something like that coming out in this story. What I'm not sure of is if that is Paola in the back, or if that's the persona of the Queen of Wands. Is that the person that she puts out, to the world, and this is who she really is? Because, that's a possibility. It looks like there is no head. Looks like there's no head on the woman in the mirror in the reflection. So that kind of concerns me as far as it being Paola. But that's the only thing I've seen so far as her current state. But I'll see if I can pull some more cards on that. And then the King of Pentacles. So we've got an older gentleman with a beard, dressed well. Of course, he's the King of Pentacles, so this might be somebody that, you know, has, you know, financially he's well off, possibly a little bit older. I would guess just a tad bit older than Paola. If Paola was 31, he could potentially be in his 40s, so this person, you know, my guess he's older. But look how fitting these two are together. I mean, they're dressed almost like they could be going out to the same place. He's in all black, she's in all red. You know, they're definitely, these two to me are coming out as a couple. And then we have Paola, right? We have the third wheel. So we have, and I don't mean to call her a third wheel because she's not a third wheel, but just to get the point across as to what's in my mind and what's coming through. There's a love triangle situation here. All right. And so we've got Paola in the mix, and it didn't bode well for her. Now, is he involved? Quite possibly, because, you know, I've been getting 3. Okay. I've been getting 3 a lot in this reading. Okay. So now we have the 8 of Pentacles, but it's reversed. We've also got a head. We've got a head. He's holding a head in his lap, right here. And I don't like that. I don't like the lap. I don't like the head being in his lap, because it makes me feel like it just doesn't give me a good feeling. And then couple that with the person with no head in the reflection working. This is a detailed, planned. This is detailed. This was detailed. This was planned down to the tiniest of details. But there's something I feel like they overlooked, because it is coming out in reverse. There's something that they weren't able to cover up or get rid of or delete or something. The problem is that law enforcement isn't looking into anything other than an alligator attack. And so this situation, that whatever this evidence is or whatever it is that they've messed up on, it's not going to be caught. It's right there. It's plain for them to see. It's right there, but they're not looking. And I don't think even the family is looking in this particular direction. The family is looking. They're out physically looking. They're hanging flyers. They're doing interviews. They're doing all sorts of things, everything that they can do in their power. But the answers are closer to home. If they could dig into Paola's personal life a little bit and find something, I think that they would find something. And then if police could cooperate and do what they were supposed to do, or do what they're supposed to do, that would also be helpful. So let me go ahead. I just want to pull a couple of the cards from the Universal and see what the outcome, you know, what needs to be, well, what, as of right now, as of the energy right at this minute, what is the outcome for Paola, Marie, Miranda, Rosa? Paola, Marie, Miranda, Rosa. What is the outcome? The current outcome as of right now. As of right now, what is the outcome? Okay, we've got the 3 again. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands. I actually feel like with that 3 of Pentacles coming out in reverse, problem is that the police aren't really doing anything. You know, at first I was looking at that as this couple, but now I'm really looking at this as law enforcement agencies, and instead of working on it and collaborating and trying to figure out what happened to Paola and really digging into this, They're not, all right? They're just not. And their defense is that they have it already figured out. Okay, that's their defense. There's no reason to. There's no reason to dig into this because there wasn't anything fishy about it. She was literally swimming in gator-infested waters. That's it. She had schizophrenia. She had bipolar. You know, that's an open and closed case. So that's the problem. And I feel like there's red flags all over the place. We've got all of these red flags down here, and they're just knocking them out as they come in. They're just dismissing them. So as of right now, I don't actually get a very good feeling about this. That doesn't mean that it couldn't change, right? Because it's just the energy as of right now. I feel like this is one of those cases where, you know, media, social media, and, you know, YouTube, they have to really possibly maybe go hard on covering this case, and that would be the only way to really get law enforcement to really look into these red flags that keep appearing. They keep appearing. They're there. That tells me that they're there and that they're aware of them because they're just ignoring them. They're focused on one thing. That one thing. That one pentacle represents their theory. That is their theory. That is what they're sticking with. Doesn't matter. Okay? There's 100 other things out there that could be a possibility, but they are absolutely dismissing it, and they're just kind of taking a chance and saying, hey, you know what? We're you know, we've got so many XYZ amount of people missing. You know, it's obvious what has happened. They're really just taking a gamble. Okay? They're taking a gamble. That's what this is. They're literally gambling with this case, and they're, as of right now, it's not looking good. Okay, it just doesn't look good with these particular cards. What should the family be doing? I mean, again, to me, it's all about getting this case out there and getting people talking about it, and, you know, looking into Paola's life a little bit more, because there's something there. Let me pull a couple more cards. Final couple cards. Any messages from Paola? Any messages from Paola? Paola, do you want to say anything? Do you want to say anything in this reading? What would you like to say? Any kind of last minute messages that you would like to get out? Lies, deception. Yeah, she's not happy. She isn't happy with the whole situation. I mean, this is, you know, the Nine of Cups. It's a, I mean, I feel like she's even coming out herself and saying there's so many things in this case. This Seven of Swords has come out, what, 3 times now? It came out at least twice, possibly 3 times. This whole thing just stinks, and I feel like that's what Paola is saying. There's more to it. There's more to it. Dig into it. There's secrets. There's things going on that people don't know. Dig into it. Dig into it. The Hierophant. Keys. The keys. The keys to the puzzle. We've got 3 people again. 3 people are coming up yet again. We've got the Hierophant himself, and we've got the 2 people down here that he's providing guidance for. And then we've got 2 keys. They're the keys. They're the keys to this piece of puzzle, okay? They are the keys to solving this mystery as to what happened to Paola. Who are those 2 people? Who are those 2 people? I don't know. This is an interesting one. I'm going to leave it there because I'm already at 1 hour and 3 minutes, so I apologize. But I know some of you don't mind, and probably some are like, Jesus, get it over with already. But yeah, this was an interesting one. Very interesting. And, you know, again, if you dig into it a little bit deeper, everything is not as it appears. And that's evident with that Moon card coming out as well. So, okay, that is my reading on Paola Marie Miranda Rosa. I absolutely love that name, Paola. That is so beautiful. You know, sending prayers out to Paola herself and as well as her family, and prayers that law enforcement will stop dismissing these red flags that are coming up to them every day, because they're aware of them. They see them, they notice them, they're dismissing them, and so that needs to change, and maybe more people will cover this case. So you know, share the video if anything else, even if people aren't into tarot readings, which I totally get and understand. That's not a, you know, whatever, but, you know, share another video of her. It doesn't have to be this one, just to get her name circulating out there some more so people can cover this case. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I am going to get this video up and ready for you, and enjoy your week. Have a very blessed week, and we are going to be sending out some good vibes for Paola and her family, and hopefully this can be looked into a little bit more seriously than it has been. All right, guys. Have a great night. Bye.